It's pretty safe to assume that pretty much everyone has heard the word Wendigo at one point or another during their lifetime. But have you ever asked exactly what is a Wendigo? The legend of the Wendigo has existed in North America for hundreds of years. References to this creature or something similar are present in folk tales of several North American tribes. While small details differ from story to story, the major details remain constant. According to the legend, the Wendigo is a cannibalistic monster or evil spirit that haunts the frozen forests of the northern United States and Canada. The Wendigo is a twisted, monstrous version of a human that's sole purpose in life is to hunt down other humans. It is usually described as being very tall and gaunt, with skin that is gray and appears to be decaying. Its appearance has been compared to a gaunt corpse torn from its grave. They are extremely fast and intelligent, making them outstanding hunters. They are impossibly thin, and their long arms end with long, sharp talons most likely used for tearing apart their helpless victims. Wendigo appear and sound like humans because they are human. A Wendigo is born from a human that is suffering from starvation so severely that they resorted to cannibalizing other humans to survive. A person can only become a Wendigo when they are in the weakened state that is associated with a lengthy period of starvation. This either turns the person into a Wendigo immediately, or makes them susceptible to the evil spirit of the Wendigo. Either way, once human flesh is consumed, legends say that the person will become a Wendigo at some point. Wendigos are historically associated with having insatiable hunger and being the embodiment of gluttony. The beasts are never satisfied after killing one person and will constantly search for more prey once it runs out of food. Anthropologists believe that the legend of the Wendigo was first created to scare starving people and warn them away from the evils of consuming human flesh. In the more desolate frozen areas of the world like northern Canada, winter is particularly harsh and food is often hard to come by. Inevitably, people would die, and it is considered taboo for a human to consume another human, even if you are starving. It is this taboo act that attracts the attention of the spirit of the Wendigo. Despite being in a constant state of starvation, a Wendigo cannot die from starvation. They can only be killed in one of two ways. Number one is fire. Burning a Wendigo alive is widely accepted as an easy way of slaying these creatures. However, this is a difficult task to accomplish as Wendigo rarely stay in one spot long enough for fire to come in contact with them. Once a Wendigo is aflame, the fire will quickly spread across its rotten flesh and engulf its entire body. This effectively kills the Wendigo, but not the evil spirit that possessed the body originally. The evil spirit of the Wendigo will escape and live to one day find another helpless victim. This is at best a temporary way to remove a Wendigo, and there is a far more effective way at permanently killing a Wendigo, and that is silver weaponry. This is the only way to truly kill a Wendigo and its evil spirit. Any kind of silver can damage a Wendigo, but the only way to kill a Wendigo with silver is to pierce its heart with a sharp silver object. This will shatter the creature's heart and temporarily kill it. However, if the corpse is left alone, the evil spirit that originally possessed the person will escape the corpse and return to find a new host. To prevent this, after piercing its heart, the heart of the Wendigo must be removed from the corpse and buried in a box on holy ground, either a church or cemetery. After this, the body must be dismembered to prevent any possible regeneration. This will trap the spirit of the Wendigo and break its connection with its former host, and this is the only permanent way to remove the threat of the Wendigo. Despite Wendigos being superior to humans in nearly every way, history tells of a small group of people who have been able to hunt and kill them. These men were Native American shamans that took on the name of Wendigo hunters. The most famous of the Wendigo hunters was a Cree Indian by the name of Jack Fiddler. In the early 1900s, Jack and his brother Joseph were experienced hunters who learned their Wendigo hunting skills from an unknown source neither ever disclosed. According to their records, Jack and Joseph killed approximately 18 Wendigos before they are finally charged with the murder of a young woman in October of 1907. The two men maintained that the woman was on the verge of transforming into a Wendigo and had to be killed before she had a chance to kill any innocent people. Both men were taken to trial, but Jack committed suicide before a punishment could be imposed. The legend of the Wendigo is so well known and so widespread in human culture that modern psychiatrists have used the word Wendigo as a medical term for a controversial medical condition known as Wendigo psychosis. Wendigo psychosis is a mental disorder where the patient exhibits intense cravings for human flesh and a deep fear of becoming a cannibal or monster. This disorder is said to have been more common during the 1800s and early 1900s, when food became scarce and people were more prone to long periods of starvation. This condition has waned and has become extremely rare as a result of food becoming easier to come across in day-to-day life. Most medical professionals reject this theory entirely, as there have been no confirmed cases of a person being diagnosed with Wendigo psychosis in over 50 years. Even if they have become more and more uncommon in recent years. People living in the deep, vast frozen wildernesses of Canada report sightings of creatures that match the Wendigo's description. Maybe the stories are true and maybe they aren't. Who knows? Before you decide whether they are real or not, just consider one thing. The stories of the Wendigo are pretty consistent across all parts of North America. Tribes thousands of miles apart tell the same story about the same creature doing the same thing. It is very unlikely that all these different people came up with the exact same fake creature for their scary stories. Could there be some truth to these ancient tales?